and welcome. It is the Nisha Jackson Show. My name is Rusty Humphrey. She is Dr. Nisha Jackson, and we welcome you here. I want to remind you to do us a favor very quickly, and that is subscribe to this podcast. Whether you are watching on YouTube or Facebook or Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, please subscribe and tell your friends. It's a great show. You learn a ton every week, and it's a lot of fun. Nisha, good to see you, Dr. Nisha. How are you?
I'm awesome. And it's Monday.
Now, I mean, some people are probably listening to me Tuesday. It's podcast, could be Thursday, could be Saturday, whatever. But right now, as we're recording, it's Monday. And now, where you live in Oregon, how's the weather?
The weather's good. I live in Oregon, but I also live in Texas.
Okay. So it's hot in Texas, Oregon, it's okay.
I go between the two places. And so if it's not sunny here, it's probably sunny in Texas.
Nice. All right. Well,
great.
And the reason I bring it up is because I'm in Arizona and it's still hot there. And one of the things I'm having a hard time figuring out is what to drink. Because as I drink my zero carb Rockstar, it doesn't seem like I'm getting hydrated enough. And I don't know, is this the better one or should I have the one with all the sugar? Which Rockstar energy drink would be better, would you say?
I'm just going to remind the listening audience that this is just a prop. He's not really drinking Rockstar. He's not really drinking that garbage.
Okay? No, never.
He's drinking my juice now. He's not having all of this awful stuff going into his body. And no, we're not talking about Rockstar today. We're talking about water. Water is way more interesting than Rockstar.
And it's very important, isn't it? Obviously. I mean, how much of our body is made up of water?
I actually want to talk about this because the Journal of American Medical Association, JAMA, just came out with an article, which I thought was fascinating, that 1 in 4 adults don't drink 1 drop of water in any given day. They don't drink water.
Oh, come on. You just made that up. Come on.
I'm not
kidding. 1 drop. Well, no, I mean, would coffee count or anything like that?
It was a survey, 8,400 young people in this National Health and Nutrition Examination survey showed that they did not drink, on average, 1 drop of water a day.
Now, is that adults or is that kids? I believe kids.
Young adults.
That doesn't surprise me.
And here's the problem, Rusty. I don't think people really understand how bad they're feeling when they're not drinking water. Like, one of the best things you can do for an afternoon slump, like when you're hitting the wall, and you're just the 3 o'clock wall that everyone hit. It seems like everybody hits the proverbial 2 o'clock wall, right? Well, the best thing you can do is drink a glass of water, 8 ounces of water. And I'm telling you, within seconds, you'll snap out of it.
Really?
Or if you get a headache, because dehydration, if you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. In fact, that's one of the signs that you're getting enough water is if you're not thirsty. So you should be drinking water throughout the day so that you don't get the signal that you're thirsty. Once you get the signal that you're thirsty, you're already mildly dehydrated. And dehydration can lead to all sorts of issues. Unfortunately, people just don't feel well. They get headaches, they get dizzy, they have problems with fatigue, their brain doesn't work very well. And I was just talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about how they just never drink water. And it's a rarity that they drink a whole water bottle during the day. Like, they carry it around with them. It gets heated in their car. It just gets disgusting in their work bag, but they don't drink it. And I was explaining to him that when you don't drink water, your body is relying on recirculating used water in your body to supply it with all of its needs. And that's kind of disgusting when you think about it.
Why is that disgusting? I mean, it's recirculating blood too, isn't it?
Think about recycling water inside of you, and it's just not giving your cells what they need. What about fresh water? Like, think about it. Would you like to drink recycled, disgusting water, or would you like to drink fresh water? So I'm trying to keep, I'm trying to create a picture here.
Do you want disgusting water?
Oh my gosh. Constipation, dizziness, confusion, low blood pressure. All of these things make you feel terrible as the day goes on. And it's one simple cure: drinking water regularly. So I thought that study that came out was interesting, and I just wanted to bring that up because it's beyond. I'm like a camel. Everyone's always joking. No matter where I go, I have water with me. I've got water in these fancy bottles, that keep it cold for 12 straight hours.
Some of those new ones, like the Yetis, I don't know what kind of black magic makes those things stay cold that long, but they're amazing.
But it's so much better to drink water when it's cold. And,
is it better for you? Is there a reason why we like cold water, or is it just a preference?
I don't know. Cold water actually is better for your metabolism. And I'm not sure there's anyone that's not interested in revving up their metabolism.
No.
So, and putting a lemon in it, one of the best things you can do first thing in the morning for your liver, which, let's face it, our liver needs to be nourished as we get older because our liver becomes sluggish and fatty as we get older, and that's our master detoxification organ. So one of the best things you can do for your liver in the morning, right when you get out of bed, is stumble into the kitchen, get some warm water, and squeeze a lemon into it.
How about one of those alcoholic drinks, the lemon drop? Would that help?
No. We're talking about making your liver healthier, not worse, not unhealthy. So a whole lemon or even a half of a lemon in some warm water first thing in the morning is one of the best things you can do to not only help with your liver, a natural liver detox, but it also protects your cells. It revs up your energy. It stabilizes your appetite. You can put lemon in your water that you take with you during the day. If you absolutely can't stand drinking water, there's other things that you can put into it. You can use stevia flavored drops. You can put a little bit of carbonation in it. There are other drinks that are pretty good for you to have. But before I get into that, I thought we should just go through some of the benefits of drinking water.
Okay.
Like what does water actually do for your body, and why in the world should we be drinking it? So first of all, I want to say that your body is made up, 60% of an adult body is water. 60% of our body is water. So that's why we have to be drinking water. 90% of our blood is water.
Wow.
That's pretty phenomenal when you think about it, and gives us more of a reason to take a pause when we're not drinking water. But one of the things that it does is it lubricates our joints. So if your joints are feeling sticky, if they're feeling stiff, if they're aching, or even if your muscles are aching, one of the best things you can do is lubricate your joints and your muscles by drinking more water. This is a very simple thing to do, Rusty.
Why do you think water does that, lubricates the joints? Is it just the liquid in it, or what is it doing?
So it's carried through our cells, and it actually helps lubricate the joints. So without drinking water, you're going to have more, unfortunately, water retention and stiffness. So we're trying to reduce inflammation and water retention and stiffness in our joints and muscles. So we've got to lubricate them in order to do that. Another thing that water intake does is it helps us form saliva and mucus. Have you ever had just really dry, very dry mouth, like cotton mouth?
Yeah,
And it's kind of, you get bad breath, and it's, your food doesn't taste good. So this is a very simple thing. The saliva helps us digest our food, and it keeps the mouth, nose, and eyes moist.
So you're telling me if I drink more water, I won't have such bad breath?
Your breath would not be as bad. Well, I don't really know what the origin of bad breath is, particularly for you, but it would help.
It does help the overall. Okay.
And a lot of people suffer from dry eyes, and they don't realize that if they would just drink water, their eyes would be more lubricated and moist. And this prevents a lot of the friction and damage that we get with our eyes, but also it helps keep our mouth clean. So I think this is one of the very simple things that you can do to help your mouth, your nose, and your eyes stay healthy.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, I hope I'm not jumping ahead because we don't like go over what you're going to talk about. But is there a difference in water? Like I got ionized water, deionized water. I got
Filtered water,
filtered. I mean, all these different things.
non-filtered.
Does it matter?
It does. And I would prefer that people they drink filtered water. I mean, I think we would all of us healthcare specialists would agree that filtered water is the best option for people.
Better than bottled water?
Alkaline water versus acidic water. Obviously, alkaline water is better. But I've mentioned this before on previous shows. I do think people can OD on alkaline water, which is such a typical thing that people do, is they get locked onto something that they hear in the news is so great for you. And indeed it is, but then they start ODing on it. So maybe just like, word of caution would be to not go crazy with something that's good for you, maybe moderation. So having some of your water be alkaline water, I think that's good, but don't go spend a lot of crazy money on things.
Can you explain quickly what alkaline water is and why it may or may not be better?
So you can buy bicarbonate water, you can buy alkaline water, you can get alkaline filters at your sink, and you can drink alkaline water because naturally our body is a little bit more alkaline, and we actually have less inflammation in our body and less prone to disease as we age if our body is not acidic. So a lot of the foods and our lifestyle habits with the foods that we're eating and some of the toxins that we put in our body moves our body to more of an acidic state. And our body does not live healthy in an acidic state. It's meant to be more an alkaline state. So one of the simple things that you can do is drink alkaline water. But I don't want to get too much into that subject because I really want to go through why water is so important for people. And so let's just stick with filtered water from now. If you're drinking alkaline water, that's great. I think it's really good for you. I just don't want you to go crazy with it. Okay. The next thing is that water boosts skin health. Okay. Quit drinking that garbage. With dehydration, the skin can become vulnerable to skin disorders. So if you have skin problems, itchy skin, you have skin breakouts, your skin looks ruddy, it doesn't have that beautiful glow, it's probably because you're not hydrated. So one of the things you can do is start drinking more water. And women, and men, if you're concerned about how wrinkly your skin looks, one of the easiest things you can do to make your skin look better, especially if you're going out for the evening, is drink like 2 glasses of water. I'm telling you, your face will look instantly different.
Really?
I'm not kidding.
Wow.
So I'll never forget this. I had a gal that worked for me years ago, and she had a lot of wrinkles on her face, and she never drank water. I mean, never. And so I kind of got her drinking water, and she's, sort of got into it, and she started drinking, a lot of water, at least a gallon of water a day. And I'm telling you, within weeks, her whole face looked different. She did not have the same wrinkly looking face as she did before.
You're kidding.
But if you just think about it, okay, I know this sounds very simple, but think about your flowers sitting on your front porch and what they look like when they don't have water. And then seriously, within minutes of pouring water on them, they perk up and they look beautiful. Like within minutes, that's what happens to your body.
Huh.
So your skin can look different if you just give it some hydration. This is one of my favorite things that water does, is that the water cushions your brain, the spinal cord, and other sensitive tissues. So unfortunately, Rusty, dehydration can affect your brain structure and the brain function. So you really cannot afford, from a brain standpoint, to go without water. It's involved in the production of your hormones from the brain and the neurotransmitters from the brain. And if you have prolonged dehydration, it really can interfere with your brain's ability to concentrate, focus, and problem solve. So if you're really stumped at solving a problem, it might be that you just didn't drink any water that day and you can't come up with the answer.
Wow. Now, this is a lot of stuff, Dr. Nisha. And I've heard drink a lot of water. Is it a gallon, you think, a day?
Well, a gallon is kind of a rough estimate, but 60 ounces of water is really what you want to be shooting for. 60, 64, 70. The larger you are, the more water you need to drink. Smaller you are, the less water you drink. But I just tell everyone, let's just shoot for a gallon.
Okay.
Like fill up a gallon of water, fill up several of these big old suckers, try to keep them with you. One of the things that I think is helpful is to try to, in the morning, like if you're going to work and you don't have time to be buzzing around or you don't have filtered water at work, fill up several water bottles and put them in a cooler with some ice packs and take them with you. It's so nice to have cold water, and then slice up some apples and some turkey and some really good snacks for you to have during the day. This does not take very long. Every day I try to leave with a cooler of water.
You bring a cooler to work every day?
Yes, and I keep it in my car when I travel.
Really?
I am like a camel. I love water.
Okay. Do you personally notice that when you drink? Can you tell the difference when you don't drink enough versus when you do drink enough? How does it affect you?
Okay, well, I'm a coffee drinker. I don't have any problem with coffee, by the way. That's a show we should do, the medicinal benefits of coffee, because I can find them. I'm telling you, I found them.
That. I can already hear the clicks a-clicking for the show. So yes, let's get that one up. Let's make that go viral, baby.
So I'm a coffee drinker, and I love coffee, but coffee and caffeine drinks, specifically tea and coffee, can dehydrate you. So this is interesting. So today I got real busy today, and I wasn't drinking my water like I normally did in the first half of my day, because my day starts super early, and I start out with, a water with lemon and all my little gyrations in the morning before I work out. So I do have water in the morning, but I had gone several hours without drinking water during the day. And then I kind of hit the wall today around 1:00. And I just was feeling kind of fuzzy, like a little bit headachy. And I realized I had drank more coffee today than I normally do. And I was not drinking my water. And I am not joking when I tell you that when I started drinking this large water bottle right here, I drank one whole large water bottle. Within minutes, that those symptoms were gone.
Wow.
So everybody listening to this as they're driving somewhere right now, I want you to consider just downing a whole water bottle. And then by the end of the show, I want you to take notice of how you're feeling, because most likely you're going to feel better. Your brain's going to wake up. You're going to be able to problem solve when you get home, and you need to take care of some things around your house. You're going to be able to figure it out because your brain's working better. All right. Regulates body temperature. Okay, that's kind of important because some people really do not have the ability to regulate their body temperature very well. And it takes water in your system to be able to do that. So much water is lost during the day through our skin, and you do not have to be sweating. So one of the things that happens in the winter times or in cold weather is that we lose a lot of water through our skin and our system, and we're not as apt to be drinking it when we're cold. So wintertime is one of the times that I think that we can get very dehydrated, and we have to take note of that. Having a lot of hot water in our body, too, can be a problem. So we want to be able to, when we're working out, is adequately hydrate ourselves during our workout.
Now, that's interesting. So is there a difference between hot water and cold water to the body?
No, I'm talking about when you're working out and you need to hydrate and be drinking cold water. I like cold water because I do think it's probably better for your metabolism.
Okay, but there's not really a big difference, hot water, cold water. Okay.
No, because like I said, first thing in the morning, I like people to have warm water with lemon in it, and it's actually pretty good. You can get used to it. It's very tart when you first start drinking it. And if you have to, you can put some stevia or some agave in it. But
I've also heard cayenne pepper with the water and lemon in the morning is something that's important. Is that true?
Yes, cayenne pepper is excellent for the liver and the metabolism. So if you can stomach that in the morning, a lot of people don't like that real hot taste in the morning, but you can get used to that.
Yeah, it sounds odd, and it's one of those things where it's like, really? And then I did it, and I'm like afraid, and I don't know if I want to do it. And then I drank it, it's like, oh, that's actually not bad. If you like,
Right.
if you like Mexican food, you'd probably like that.
It's just it's a little bit harsh first thing in the morning to have cayenne pepper with lemon, but it is very good for you. And you can start out with just a little tiny sprinkle of it, and you can add more with time.
Okay.
Get, moving up to like an eighth of a teaspoon in your cup of water. Okay. Water, Rusty, is needed to remove urine and feces from our body. Okay. So if you're dehydrated, you're going to have constipation and you're not going to be urinating. And that's the way we remove waste from our body. So again, if you want a bunch of waste built up inside your body, just don't drink any water. And then you're going to wonder why you feel so bad. This is the recirculation of toxins in our body. And our goal is to try to remove them. So in order to do that, we have to drink water so that we can lubricate our bowel movements to get them out of our body and not be constipated. So when you know you're drinking enough water is when your urine is very pale in color and not dark. So if you're peeing and your urine is dark, unless you're taking a bunch of B vitamins and that's making it dark. If it's dark, you're not drinking enough water. So not being thirsty and having clear urine and not dark urine are two signs that you're drinking enough water. So we don't want to be constipated. If your body lends itself to being constipated to begin with, you really want to be drinking a lot of water. And of course, there's other things we can talk about constipation, but not today. Not today. We're not talking about constipation. This is an easy way to fix it.
Yes.
All right. People who suffer from lung illnesses, asthma, chronic bronchitis, emphysema, maybe they have allergies. Hydration is one of the most easy things that you can do to help your airways work better. So you will have more restriction in your airways if you're dehydrated than if you're hydrated. So again, super easy to do. If your kids are suffering from lung-related problems, give them water. Start getting them to drink water before they get something else. Maybe tell them to drink a glass of water. It does help prevent kidney damage. There's been some excellent new research that has come out to show that kidney damage in adults today is actually on the rise. I think it's partially related to the fact that we're not hydrating ourselves, which is ironic because can we get any more bottled water, vitamin water, all sorts of water out there? It seems like everybody's drinking water, but evidently people are still dehydrated.
Do you have a problem with the bottled water?
No, not at all.
Okay.
No, I like the bottles that are BPA free. We talked about that in a previous show about staying away from the types of plastics that emit emit chemicals that are like xenoestrogens into our body. So you often now see on plastic bottles, it says B as in boy, BPA free. I would prefer that it say that if you're going to drink out of it. I like glass bottles, metal bottles. I prefer that people drink out of those, but
they're even coming up with paper ones now with just water. So you like that, I would guess.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Just a couple more things. Water boosts performance when you're exercising. So when you get up in the morning, I like to work out first thing in the morning because if I don't work out first thing in the morning, Rusty, I ain't going to do it because I'm not that motivated after work to come home and go work out.
Right. Okay.
Like, it takes a lot of willpower to work out after work.
Yes.
They've actually studied this, which I think is interesting because most people do not have the gumption to consistently work. This is not everyone. Most people do not have the gumption to be consistent with their workouts if they're working out later in the day. So first thing in the morning, you burn up to 200% more calories when you work out on an empty stomach. So when you roll out of bed in the morning and you're going to go work out, have a whole bottle of water or a whole glass of water.
So that doesn't weigh you down before you go and work out and get a side ache or something?
No, it doesn't. That's an old wives' tale. It's an old myth. But it does boost performance during exercises. And the scientists have proposed that consuming more water might actually enhance your ability to perform very strenuous exercise. So we all could use a little edge when we're exercising and feel a little bit better. But your exercise often is at a much higher performance when you're hydrated, obviously, rather than being hydrated. And I think we all know, not that I'm an advocate of a lot of drinking, but hydration does help prevent a hangover. So one of the things that you can do when you're drinking that I think is important when you're drinking alcohol, because it dehydrates you also, is that you drink a full glass of water for every glass of alcohol that you have.
Man, that's going to be a lot of water for some guys.
And I would prefer that you not drink a lot of alcohol, because that's bad for your liver and your kidneys. But it does help prevent a hangover. And I think people feel a lot better the next day when they're drinking water. Even if it's just a glass of wine, you should be having a full glass of water. And have it before you have the wine. Have it before you have the alcoholic drink, because it really would be better for you rather than afterwards. But at the very least, you should be having it. So the kidneys are filtering each day about 120 to 150 quarts of fluid. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about 150 quarts of fluid a day. Your kidneys are constantly filtering. So just try to imagine filtering clean water through your pure filtered water through your kidneys, as opposed to not drinking any water at all and recycling that dirty water, right?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right, that makes a lot of sense. Can I ask you one quick question? We're almost out of time.
Yes.
Okay, I know at Peak Medical Clinic, you guys do drips where you get like the IV and you get liquids in that and stuff. Would this help? Somebody that doesn't drink enough water, or this would be something you'd want to do even if you do drink enough water, but that's something I'm guessing you would suggest people do, correct?
Yes. So nutrient IVs are a wonderful way of getting nutrients into your body, because you bypass the gut and you get 100% absorption right now. So that's the great thing about IVs, and also shots. We give a lot of nutrient shots into the muscle. But again, an easy thing to do is just to hydrate yourself, just to start drinking water and incorporate it into your regular routine. I've given you 15 reasons why you should be drinking more water, and I don't think I need to give any more.
Okay.
They're sound reasons.
They're good reasons. We'll wrap it up with that. Let me ask you, if I was going to do one of those IVs, what would you say? I know everybody's different, but is there like a base thing that you should make sure you put in one of those IVs?
Yes, the Myers cocktail is an excellent cocktail with B vitamins and a higher dose vitamin C. That's the cocktail that's had actually quite a bit of research that's been done with it, and is shown to be very, very good for energy, your immune system, autoimmune disorders, chronic pain, arthritis, depression. So, the Myers cocktail is a very popular cocktail. It's called a couple different things depending on where you're going, but high-dose vitamin B complex and vitamin C is excellent for an IV nutrient.
Okay, I call that the Nisha, but that's me. All right, do me a favor, would you please? First of all, and that is subscribe to this podcast, The Dr. Nisha Jackson Show. Whether you're watching on YouTube or listening on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, please hit that subscribe button and share it if you would, please. Also, the book is out there, and it's a good one. It is called Brilliant Burnout: How Successful Driven Women Can Stay in the Game by Rewiring Their Bodies, Their Brains, and Their Hormones. Anything quickly, Dr. Nisha, you would like to say as we wrap her up?
Yep, just want to remind you, when you roll out of bed, go right to your kitchen, get a lemon, squeeze it into some warm water, and drink it for your liver, drink it for your metabolism. It will give you that edge that you need with you when you work out, and it will help you age better. Awesome. So lemon water first thing in the morning, and then plan your day with water. More water. We need more water.
Water. We'll say
water.
We'll check you out next time. Make sure you check out her website, nishajackson.com. My name is Rusty Humphrey. She is Dr. Nisha Jackson, and this is The Nisha Jackson Show.